So this sicko Garcetti is getting ready to do an experiment on all of LA and give us wastewater. He's going to give us toilet water because he doesn't want to spend the money to have water shipped in from other states and other areas in the state. Completely disgusting if you ask me. This whole recycled wastewater nonsense was started under Jerry Brown. You know, the sickness and disgusting behavior of these people baffles me. I want to get into this whole recycled water situation and explain this and explain what exactly is going to happen and what it is going to do. Let me go ahead and share this clip with you so you can see exactly what this recycled wastewater is and you can know exactly what the hell is about to happen.
Cities and towns there are looking for any source of water they can find. That includes a water recycling process some call toilet to tap. Ben Tracy gives us the 411 on this form of H2O.
The Pacific Ocean is California's calling card, the Golden State's front door. But it's often treated as, well, the back door. Southern California dumps 1.3 billion gallons of treated sewage off the coast every single day.
So this is wastewater that's been treated to a degree that it's safe to be able to discharge into the ocean.
Mike Marcus is the general manager of the Orange County Water District. What some people call sewage, he calls opportunity. This $623 million water recycling plant turns treated sewage from the sanitation department next door into drinkable water. It's officially called indirect potable reuse, but it's more descriptively known as toilet to tap.
So you're taking every single thing going down a toilet, a shower drain, a kitchen sink, washing machine,
every drop.
That wastewater goes through a three-step purification process. First, these microfilters remove particles and bacteria. Then, through a process called reverse osmosis, inside hundreds of these tubes, the water becomes as clean as most bottled water.
This process will remove any dissolved minerals, viruses, and pharmaceuticals in the water also.
Finally, anything left in the water is zapped by high-powered ultraviolet light inside these tanks. Marcus says the water that comes out is cleaner than most tap water in the country. On the day we visited, the plant was generating 100 million gallons of drinking water. That's about 1/4 of Orange County's entire daily water supply.
If all this water wasn't coming here and you weren't doing what you're doing, where would all this water have gone?
If we didn't recycle it, the water would be wasted to the ocean.
And lost forever.
And lost forever.
During an epic drought, that kind of waste is hard to swallow. But so is the idea of drinking your neighbor's toilet water.
I know people don't like toilet to tap, but it is memorable.
Governor Jerry Brown says this is the kind of idea needed to help meet his mandatory 25% cut to water use in the state. Orange County's is the largest plant of its kind in the world and recently expanded. San Diego is fast-tracking a water recycling plant of its own. And mayors in Silicon Valley took a very public swig of recycled water to convince the public there that its time has come.
This is an opportunity to ensure we have a drought-proof source of water right beneath our feet.
And the so-called yuck factor may finally be trumped by the reality of 4 years of drought.
Do we have the luxury of saying, I don't want to drink that kind of water?
Absolutely not. It's pure, it's safe, it's necessary.
Well, we can't end this story without trying the water, so cheers.
Cheers.
Tastes like water.
Because it is water.
For CBS This Morning, Ben Tracy, Orange County, California.
Now, I want you to pay very close attention to how this man has asked, do we really have the luxury of choosing to not drink this wastewater? And this man replies, absolutely not. Right here, these are the complete beginnings of communism, where you don't get a choice of what you want to drink and you don't get a choice of what you want. So Garcetti chose to continue Jerry Brown's wastewater legacy. So this is now what LA is going to be confronted with and have to suffer with. So check out this clip.
Took another big step today toward ending its dependence on imported water. Mayor Eric Garcetti announced the city will recycle 100% of its wastewater by the year 2035. It will do that by converting its wastewater treatment plants, like the one at the Hyperion and El Segundo, into more powerful recycling facilities. Currently, Hyperion can only recycle about 27% of the water that flows through it. Within 16 years, they say it will recycle 100% thanks to a $2 billion makeover.
So we're going to take that wastewater, purify it to drinking water standards.
Wastewater recycling is part of the mayor's plan to source at least half of LA's water locally by the year, once again, 2035.
So they've already been giving us some percentage of wastewater, and now they want to up the ante to 100% recycled wastewater, which is ridiculous. So this sicko Garcetti, he's making billions of dollars in this city, does nothing for the homeless, nothing, absolutely nothing, no funds going towards building anything for them, and he wants to save a little penny on getting water imports. So he's going to go ahead and give the city basically essentially shit and piss ran through a motherfucking machine and give us all wastewater. So he's getting ready to play an experiment on all of us just to save some pennies on importing some water here. You know, it is so sick and so disgusting that I have never seen something so disgusting in my life. So he's going to have us all drink wastewater, even though there is no drought. We've had plenty of rain. We don't have a water shortage, but he wants us to go ahead and drink wastewater. But the source, we have water here in California. We have a perfectly abundant amount of water, yet he wants to give people of LA and California wastewater. And so did Jerry Brown. And it is crazy. The seriousness of this matter is absolutely astounding. Now, before I talk about the detrimental effects that this is going to have on our health, I really would like to show you what is going on in Compton, where they actually have been sent real wastewater, not recycled wastewater, but wastewater.
Having to bathe, drink this water, or even brush your teeth with it, this is actually light. Many people say it's much darker. You'll see that in a second. But imagine having to do that for a long period of time. That's what's happening here, and people, they are fed up.
Yeah, no, it's horrible.
Norma Hernandez has lived in her Compton home for more than 20 years, but she says the last few have been a nightmare.
So they say that the problem has been recent, but it hasn't.
That's because this is what's coming out. Dirty, smelly brown water. She took this video more than a year ago, and this video just 2 days ago.
It's just horrible. There's no one that can drink this water, cook with it, or do anything.
Today, officials with the Sativa LA County Water District that serves Compton and Willowbrook held a press conference to address concerns. They were met by angry residents who say they are fed up. Many are already meeting with attorneys about a class action lawsuit.
Our water district?
Even so, the water district officials announced an aggressive new program to clean the 80-year-old pipelines, which they say are the cause of the discoloration and odd-smelling water. It's called flushing, and now will be done 4 times a year.
We open up hydrants, and through high velocity and pressure, we try to clean up as much sediments as we can.
Officials showed how it worked in the clean water after, but people living here say it's been done before, and they don't believe their water is safe to drink.
It's very scary, the way that the water looks, actually, and I have no idea what's in there.
Now the district says the discolored water is safe to drink. Health inspectors were out taking samples, but Norma Hernandez says even after the flushing today and seeing her water running mostly clean, she doesn't trust it. She says it's been done before, and ends up like this days later. And a lot of the people that we talked with right now are at the Compton City Council meeting, just seeing what they can do to help as well. Back to you.
This looks like urine. You know,
I mean, come on, and it's coming out of all the sinks.
Ricardo Calderon shows us the discolored water he gets at his Compton home. He brought a jar full of it to this town hall meeting tonight to make a point to local and state officials.
You think that we're supposed to drink this? This is nonsense. And we get charged a lot of money.
Compton and Willowbrook residents are expressing their concerns and anger over the murky and sometimes brown water they say they're expected to drink and use.
I have 2 kids, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. They're scared to shower. They're scared to wash their hands, to brush their teeth because they see the water and it's brown.
The Sativa County Water District serves these areas and says the color is a result of a process called flushing. 4 times a year, the district flushes their system to remove the buildup of minerals and sediment from inside the pipes. And sometimes the sediments end up in the water people get at their homes.
This problem can only be solved through infrastructure upgrade. Our pipes are 70, 80 years old. We're doing the best that we can.
A representative from the LA County Department of Health told the crowd they tested the water and found no bacteria in the samples. They've determined there is no health or safety threat.
We have a bottled water program for our residents in the interim while they flush out the system.
But these residents say they deserve clear water now.
We asked them too, would you drink the water? And they all said no. So why are they saying it's safe and they want us to drink it? It's not fair.
The Water District says in order to make those improvements to their infrastructure, they need more funding from local and state governments. The county health department says they'll continue working with the district to make sure the water remains safe.
And if you look here, this is the same kind of geographical racism that we have seen happen in Flint. You think that this recycled wastewater and any of this shit gonna be sent to Beverly Hills and these rich-ass communities? No, the first communities that they're going to send this to and that they do this to are Black and Latino communities and communities that don't have much money. They are purposefully doing this. The Compton water situation, that was done on purpose. And we know it, okay? This shit has been done on purpose and has been allowed to happen in America. And it is absolutely disgusting that people cannot even have access to clean water because of corrupt sickos like Brown and Garcetti and these people in Michigan who have done these people in Flint like this. It is so disgusting. And look at the amount and number of damage that the people have had from having contaminated water. I don't know how much more I need to stress the danger of this situation and the seriousness of this situation and how it is about to come to this state. Now let's talk more about the detrimental health effects that this is going to have on our health. So we no longer will have real water. The water that we are going to have is going to be just so chemically disgusting that it's just disgusting. So they're going to use chlorine and ultraviolet light to disinfect this water. If they honestly think that is going to disinfect this wastewater, it's crazy. Because we all know that there's always things that happen, things that go wrong with machines, and then you know what happens? Outbreaks happen. Let's see, all the salmonella cases, E. coli, all that shit. Do you know how many diseases are going to happen? As well as, let's see, the fact they're adding chlorine to this water to chlorinate it. We don't know what the effects of this experiment are going to be on our health. But they're going ahead and going to risk all of our health because they don't want to import water here anymore. This is so absolutely disgusting that it's really crazy. I just can't even believe it. So let's look at the effects of what happens with what we are going to see when these machines fail to properly clean this water. We are going to see massive recalls on water, just like they do with foods, and there's recalls on salmonella and E. coli, all that kind of stuff. We are going to see massive outbreaks of diseases happen because they are taking wastewater and going ahead and thinking that they're getting it clean, all this stuff, but there's always going to be something that can possibly happen where this water will not be fully clean. And you know what's going to happen? We are going to see an outbreak of diseases in America and in California that we have not seen happen in a long, long time. If you look in these foreign countries where they swim in polluted water and wastewater, they have many diseases that happen and that occur from this polluted water. But they want to go ahead and take this wastewater and run it through a lab. And because they run it through a lab and make it seem all fancy, they're going to go ahead and just be like, oh, this is okay. It's perfectly fine. Oh, no, that's okay. Americans need to understand that if they are willing to give us recycled wastewater, the next step of what they'll be willing to give us is recycled garbage for food. Let's take a look at Venezuela, how they are eating garbage off of the streets. That's basically what is essentially on its way to happening. Except the thing is, what these people do is they'll run the water through the lab, or they'll run some rotten vegetables through a lab to make it seem like you're getting something better, but we're going into the same path as Venezuela. Okay? And they want to act like this is saving the planet. They're going to disguise it and all these different kinds of things. But what they are doing is they are getting ready to give us waste. If they're ready to give us wastewater, they think of the other things of waste that they will be willing to give us. If people go ahead and say they're okay with this wastewater, the next thing it'll be waste. Okay, you know what's going to be next? They'll be taking rotten meat. They'll say, oh, you know what, we're recycling. You know what, we'll go run it through a lab. We're going to decontaminate all the bacteria. We'll run it through a UV light, add a little chlorine, add a little this and that, whatever. You know, that way they figure, you know, hey, it doesn't look as bad as what's going on in Venezuela or what's going on in a third world country. They'll just run the shit right through a damn lab, make it look like it's okay to eat and like this shit's okay to drink, even though it's completely not okay. Okay? This is what you call extreme communism. This is communism. We have no choice of if we want to drink this water or not. They're going to run it through a lab, and then next they'll be running other foods through a lab, recycled foods and rotten foods and shit.